All right, guys, welcome back. We're going to be going over another example of how to stack trades. So first, let's find our range. This is a 15-minute range, intraday range, liquidity, and I'm expecting this to break. So we have a candle closure below. So that's my range from here to here. Now look at this. There is equal highs. Remember how I told you, there's going to be a reason for everything. These equal highs eventually in the future will become targets. Right? The market is not so random as you think. There's always a reason. So of course, that's our external. And then here we have a point of interest. That's a huge point of interest. I think it's huge. It lines up with perfectly with this 15-minute. I'm seeking a wick, and I believe that's a QM. Yes, it is. It's a QM. You see that? So following mitigation, take a liquidity, can we mitigate this? So this is my POI right here. Right? So where's my internal liquidity of this range? It's going to be this. So that means if I'm a short, then this is going to be my overall target, right? My interim liquidity. I don't see anything here. If you look to the left, there's nothing here. See that? Nothing obvious, nothing clear. This is the only obvious point. And there's nothing here in the 1 minute either. So that's more about target, right? So now we wait for our session. This is 1 o'clock, which is a kill zone. So let's see what we got so far. I see that, okay, we got 2 0 candles, came in to mitigate here. All right, now this is a strong high right here. A strong high that broke structure. And then we have our low. So liquidity. And then broke structure. This take out liquidity from here. And mitigated this. So here could have been a long on the second time frame, right? So this is our current range, so what I currently see. Now what backs up this high? Simply, I believe it was inside of a 15-minute block. Yes. So 1, 2, 3, conservative up candles. This becomes the POI, so I'm just draw a line. That lines up with this right here. That right there would be our rejection block and balance fill price action, right? Confluence. We're combining everything together. So that's where I will look for a short. Stop us there. And eventually first target here. Now look, what is this? Equal lows. You see that? It's giving a reason for the market to come lower, which is our external range liquidity. Right there. For that low. Now where's our overall target though? That's all the way down here. So I'm gonna take it all the way down here. So now look, we don't have internal range liquidity, right? So that means that we need to wait for an inducement, the trap, a false move, a failure swing. So we have to see our price being delivered. Play this out. There's 3 kind of formation. There's a liquidity. We can probably take a long from here. Let me see. Yeah, so this will become, that's equal lows right there. You see that? Equal lows. That will become liquidity. We're gonna long just below that. There's the imbalance right there. And we'll target this. It's only, yeah, it's only 2R. Now, is it worth the risk? That's up to you. For me personally, I wouldn't take it, but just because we're going over some examples and we're back testing together, let's say we take this. All right, we tapped in. And then we're tapped in on the short. So nice. So now we're in the long. And now we're in the short. So let's play this out. All right, nice. Let me just move that away. So now it's time to stack trades. So let's place out more. Okay, so we got nothing here. All right, so I already see a strong high right there on the second time frame. See that? But nothing really clear yet. All right, nice. Price just came directly to a target. So there was nothing for me to take a trade on. So that went for a, so that was 2, that was 10. So that was 10R. All right, cool. So let's go back to the 15-minute. All right. So it looks okay. So now after we took out the internal liquidity, right? Our POI is all the way down here, right? Now there's nothing here to stop price. Nothing, right? It has no reason, price has no reason to stop here. Price can simply just fall straight through. There is nothing that can hold price back. There's no obstacle. The only POI is this one. So that means that we can confidently keep shorting this. Now we already took out internal liquidity. We already paid ourselves. So we're pretty much risk-free. So let's look for more short opportunity. And the reason we can take more shorts is because 1, the POI is down here. 2, there's no obstacle in the way. So nothing should hold price back from dropping all the way into here. Now, if you're gonna take shorts and keep stacking shorts all the way to the POI, right? Make sure that when price comes around this area now, even though I did mention don't take your position here in this POI, but again, there's different scenarios. There's some scenarios. In this case, we don't have anything here. There's absolutely nothing. So in this scenario, right, in this example, eventually just try to take your profits on the higher time frame POI, which is pretty much this right here. Just try to take it right there, lock in your profits. That's a 5-minute actually. Okay, lock in your profits, but just be aware, right, that when price comes in, let's say to this order block, you will get a reaction. So don't be surprised. Right, so just be aware of that. Like there is nothing here for us. Right now, me personally, I would just be done with the internal and I will wait. But for those that want to keep on stacking, right, there's nothing wrong with that. Right, make sure you exit at the open, or let's say in this case the open of the POI, which will be here. Don't wait for price to come all the way down here. Like just exit here. That's more than enough, right? Don't be greedy, but be aware that all of this is the POI, and price can react from here and just take off. All right, don't be surprised. So always be aware. So that's that. So let's pretend that we are gonna keep stacking trades. So see what we got. All right, to the 5-minute. Okay. So we have imbalance. So we have imbalance right there. And we have equal highs right there. Here we do. That is a strong high. This took out liquidity right there. And then this would be our BOS and for this range. And also if it's liquidity into that POI. So if I'm gonna take this, it will be lines up with stop about to go all the way up there eventually and see how much of a risk reward this is. 3.3. And let's say that's the low, then that's a just 1 to 4. All right. And also don't forget that you can target your external range of every range. So if I short here and I don't want to hold the trader all the way down here, I can just target this low. Price pulls back, target the low. Price pulls back, target the low, right? You don't have to wait till price comes here. However, again, on repeat, right? we target the interim liquidity. I would not personally wait for price to come down here. I don't do that. I don't recommend that. But because in this example, we don't have anything else, and this is so far away, right? If you're gonna wait for price to come down here, make sure you exit at the open of the POI, right? In this example, because there's nothing here that will hold price down. I hope this is making sense, right? There's so many scenarios in the market, and this is a different one from what we're used to seeing. So I will look for a short there. Three candle formation. Okay, that is liquidity. All right. Okay, so it looks like it broke structure. Yeah. So that broke structure already. Something come up here. I already took out liquidity. And it broke structure here. So here we have a breaker. Let me check the 5-minute. Yep, that's a rejection block. You see that? Rejection block. Breaker. Yep, breaker. All right. Let's see. Wait for some. Okay, we have liquidity right there. All right. We also just broke this low right here, but this, okay. Perfect tap. And look here on the 15 seconds, we had this three candle formation, which fed liquidity into this POI. So that would have been our short. Just put the breaker 2 pips. We can target this low, nothing wrong with that. That's 4.3. Yeah, so let me just target the open of this. Again, I don't do this personally. Don't recommend it. But I'm showing you this example in case you run into examples like these. So that's a short. All right, so we got, so price came down. Anything here? Price made retracement. All right, so price retraced into this order block right here. So the mitigation is intact. Came into there, which lines up with, look at this. Rejection block. Beautiful. So now price should drop. Now I didn't see this, so I'm not going to count this as a trade, but this is how you would have taken this. Yeah, so look, we have 5-minute order block, lines up with the 1-minute rejection block. So that would have been your short. Let's see if we can catch a second time frame entry. If not, it's fine. I was short just above that point high, right there, right here, shorting right here. Because I don't want to miss it. Let's see what happens. Target that low. I'm gonna just put it way down here. Okay. Perfection. Nice. So you see how we missed this, but I dropped down to the 5 seconds and we were able to take that one here. See that? Nice. All right. So far, we are floating 10, 15, and then 6R, right? Right. So this is targeting the POI, which again, it goes against the rules. But again, in this scenario, we don't have nothing to target here besides this one. I personally would have been done. And I keep repeating myself, so that way you won't ask me, oh, why here? Well, this is why. All right. So now I wouldn't be looking for no more shorts. I'm done. So I'm gonna now just wait for the longs because we are pro trend. Pro trend is bullish, so I'm gonna look for longs. So we pretty much had a long, short, short, missed this trade, but we cashed it here on the seconds time frame. All right. Yeah, I wouldn't short. Now this looks tempting to short, but I wouldn't short. We are already on the higher time POI. Let's wait for a bullish setup. Yeah, that looks nice for a short, but I'm not gonna take it. I want high probable scenarios. All right, so I already see our range. So broke structure here, took out liquidity here. So that's our range. Equal lows. Let me zoom in here. Equal lows, you see that? There's a reason why it's there. There's a reason why it's there. So we're gonna just long below that. So let's go to the 30 seconds. I see an order block right here. I see imbalance. So I see imbalance just below this. So I'm gonna take this imbalance fill price action. That's what I'm gonna take over the order block. Which, yeah, that's all I see. The closest PRT liquidity. That's all I see. All right, so I'm gonna just do 2.5. And then that's the external range. But now look, now it's time to start to look into liquidity, right? Look at all this, right? That is trailing liquidity. We have literally 1, 2, 3. So trailing liquidity equal highs. So price is gonna feed it. It's feeding liquidity into something. So let me go to the 15-minute. Check the 5-minute. Oh yeah, all right. So if this is all internal range liquidity, right? It is all internal range liquidity of this current range. Because remember, we're still in this big one. And then we have a obstacle in the way. So this is a order block right there, which lines up with this one right there. The liquidity, we'll target this. Now why is this internal liquidity? Because we have from here, price came down, right here, from this area here. This is the entire range. That's the internal liquidity of this range. That's the high, that's the low. That's all internal liquidity. But we have obstacles in the way. So I'm gonna look for along there. All right, we're tapped in. And then I'm looking for a short just above this. Now we're at target. We just gotta wait. All right, so that hit TP, nice. We're tapped in on the shorts. So look, again, we got equal lows right there. And just below that, what do we have? We have imbalance and a rejection block, which is also a Quasimodo on the 15 seconds. See that? So that's the closest POI. So we're gonna short into that. And check the 5 real quick. That's also a 5-minute unmitigated wick, right? So That will be my long. All right. So if I'm gonna go long here, what's going on over here? Let's see what we got. All right. So this will obviously be the overall target of this right there. So let's see. Okay. So that's a 1 to 5. Let me fix all this. I am talking a little bit slower than usual because I'm really trying to get you guys to see this and understand this. And I am back testing this with you, so I'm thinking. All right. So now we took out this high. Now we are anticipating price to just fly. We're still inside this current range, this bigger range. This all in terms of liquidity. All right. So price, this, make it this. We have a unmitigated wick right there. Delete that. Unmitigated wick right there. So this, oh, so this right here becomes the reason why price came into here. The liquidity is feeding into that unmitigated 5-minute wick. So price is going to give us a reaction from here. And now look. So now we have equal lows formed there. The closest thing to this is this right here. This block. Check the 5-minute. That's also a unmitigated wick. All right, so I'm gonna take these shorts. Going lower time frame because I already missed the entry. I don't want to cheat. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna short above that right there. Right there. Okay. And I'm gonna target this. And then I'm gonna look for a long around here. Let's see what happens. All right, so I took a loss on this. Okay, that's fine. All right, that was the L. All right. Check the higher time frame now. All right, so we are currently so we are currently breaking out of a bigger range. And because we're breaking out of a bigger range, let's see. Check out liquidity and broke structure of the bigger range. So that is a break of structure right here. So after we break this high, after external is taken, then the internal liquidity. So that means, so I'm gonna still leave this long here because that makes sense to me, right? Well, I'll put it back. So we have liquidity right there. We have imbalance, which lines up with this. So okay, look, so we'll confuse you, right? So if we go to 30, I believe you see it better, maybe. You can't see it better. All right. So I'm looking at this. So we have this point to the upside, this right here, as my block, as a POI. Check the 1 hour. Yep. That's POI. And that lines up with this rejection block, drag across. So this becomes in-terms liquidity. In-terms liquidity. Delete that. So I'm gonna take a short from here. It's 100% gonna drop from there now. I wasn't looking at the bigger range, the bigger picture, because that broke out this range. So that means after we take out external, then we're coming for the internal, which all of these are gonna get taken. So all of these become targets. So that means that I'm gonna target all of these lows. So I'm gonna remove all this because it's gonna be a lot of noise. So this is gonna be my first target. This is equal lows, like I mentioned. So that's target right there. And then eventually I'm along when price comes here. Look at that, building up the liquidity. All right, let's see. All right, so we took this. Then I'm gonna take the long. See how this goes. Now for this long, where are we gonna target? So I would like for price to take out these highs, but that's already a strong high actually. It shouldn't break. So that's a strong high. Then we have a imbalance. So we have an imbalance fill, rejection block, which lines up with this right here. So if I'm going to long this, then eventually I'm gonna exit somewhere around here. That's the only internal liquidity I see, to be honest. I don't really see much. So I'm along this. All right, three candle formation right there. That's a high. So I'm gonna take a short from here. So we're tagged in, okay? And then the last area where price can come into now because we're going pro trend will be this. Let's see what that lines up with. So yeah, that's simply a 50% unmitigated wick. Lines up with that. So I would exit at this low. Yeah, I would exit at this low. There's nothing over here obvious. Now this is a very choppy example, but this is the reality of the market. So I'm showing you guys real back testing. All right, so we can exit out here. Okay, so this gives you another re-entry opportunity. That's nice. So look, guys, look what it's doing, right? It's just building up liquidity to give it a reason to go. It happens over and over again. All right. Okay, so another loss. That's fine. Let's see what happens. I was expecting price to come down here. That was my expectations. So price got this high. So from 15-minute. All right. So from here to here was my current range. That high got taken, but it didn't break structure. Higher time frame never broke structure. See that? So it never broke structure. And that means that this is a failure swing on the bigger picture. All right. So bear with me, guys. So that means this Unmitigated wick is the closest thing to this failure swing, which is literally trailing liquidity. So that right there, break this down. And so with this, nice, 5-minute. Yeah, so pretty much where I had it. Yeah, pretty much where I had it. So I'm not gonna change nothing. And I'm gonna just put it to do a 4. Yeah. And then I'm gonna target. Eventually this should be now the last low to come and take out this high. A, B, failure swing. Okay. So took out that high. We could look for a short, but I have no idea where this came into, to be honest. It just took the high out. All right. So there's the liquidity that I mentioned. You see that? It built it up to come into here. There's always a reason why. And we tapped in. Yeah, good. So we broke structure. So that price has no reason to go down any lower. I say this imbalance for price action. So I will look for this. However, this is a 1-minute BOS. This high took out liquidity. So if this high took out liquidity, this is a breaker. So if the breaker, if this is the breaker here, then just below that we have liquidity here. So I'm gonna take the long here. I'm gonna take the risk here. It just only makes sense. That's a breaker, so price has no reason to come in lower. And I do believe, check the 15-minute. No, not the 15-minute. Yeah, I do believe this. Yeah, all of this is order block. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 down candles. That's a higher time from order block. You can't see on the 5-minute, maybe on the 4-minute, 3-minute, but you can see it's an order block with the breaker. Confluence is there, liquidity is there. Broke a 1-minute structure point, so seconds makes logical sense. All right. Yeah, so it looks like we just near missed it. So that would have been a missed trade. And let's see what happens now. That's a strong low, I believe. Yeah, it is. Nice target hit. So this is the complete cycle of the range. It is complete. You know, it wasn't the prettiest PA, but we covered it all, right? So from London all the way to New York. So London, New York, all right? So another back testing session done. Ping pong in the markets. It is possible, guys, right? You just have to put in the work. Now, as you can see, we took 2 losses. We missed a trade. And that's okay. That's just part of the process. You know, that's just trading. You're not gonna get every single trade correct, every single trade right. But as you can see, it's possible to catch these trades with the right understanding. And you guys have the tools to do this, right? Now it'll come with time, but as you can see, it works. The entire strategy works flawlessly, right? So Yeah, very ugly price action, but it's a good thing we covered it because it shows you guys that even on some ugly days, you still got opportunities. All right, so took 2 losses. We missed 1 trade here. Yeah, now this one would have probably been a break even. This right here, that would have been a break even probably, to be honest. Not the best. It was only a 1 to 3. This one, I have no idea. So like I said, it doesn't make sense to me. If I don't see something that makes sense to me, I'm not gonna take it. Target wise, I would have been done with the shorts right here. Me personally, I already explained why. But for the example of this, of us back testing, we targeted the entire POI over here. And then we took some longs and shorts. But yeah, guys, that's it for this. On to the next one.